We're going to be comparing and ordering fractions. So first of all, let's start off with when a fraction has the same denominators. Remember, the top numbers are our numerator, how many pieces, and our bottom numbers are denominator, that tells me how many parts it's been split into. So we have got two bars. Both bars are the exact same size and have both been cut up into 7 pieces. Now, if I were to use these bars to compare fractions, my first fraction says 5/7. So if I was to cross off 5/7 of my first bar, okay, in my second bar, I've got 2/7. Okay, you can now see quite clearly which fraction is the biggest and which one is the smallest. And this is because the bars are split into equal parts. So we could write that the fraction 5/7 is greater than 2/7. And the bottom here, I'm going to type the word in greater. Okay, so why don't you have a go at these two questions? Okay, so both questions have got the same denominators. You are comparing them. Pause the video and come back to check your learning. Okay, well done. Let's see if you were right then. So, on our first one, we have got 4/9, which is 4 out of 9 squares. And then on the second, we've got 8/9. As you can see, 4/9 is smaller than 8/9. Okay, less than. Okay, in our second one, we've got 5/10 being compared to 4/10. Okay, and as we can see, that the 5/10 is bigger than, it's greater than 4/10. Okay, so when the denominator is the same, we can compare the numerator. Okay, and that's one thing we can do. We have to make sure the denominator is the same, but to compare it by using the top number. Okay, so what happens then when we have got fractions that are different denominators? This is when we have to make them the same denominator, and we have to make an equivalent fraction, which we have done before. So as you can see, we have got 2/3 being compared to 7/12. Now 3 is a factor of 12, therefore we can turn 3 into 12. So let's look how we can make an equivalent fraction. So we look at how many times 3 can go into 12. So 3 times by 4 makes 12. And what we do to the bottom, we must also do to the top. So if we times 3 by 4 to make 12, we need to do 2 times 4, which makes 8. So now my fraction is 8/12. And we're comparing it to 7/12. Now our numbers are the same number, we can look at our top numbers to compare. So 8 is greater than 7, therefore 2/3 is greater than 7/12. Okay, I would like you to have a go yourself now at these two questions. So pause the video here and come back when you have had a go at these. Okay, well done guys. Okay, let's see then what answers you got and whether they are correct. So we need to turn our 4/7 into being over 14, okay, to make an equivalent fraction. So I'm going to write 14 as being my denominator. Now, what do we do to 7 to make 14? Well, we times 7 by 2, which means we must times 4 by 2 as well. 4 times 2 is 8. So now I can compare 8 to 7, which means that 4/7 is greater than 7/14. Okay, next one then. This one, we need to make the denominators the same. We're going to turn 4 into being 8 because 4 is a factor of 8. So I'm going to make it into 8 and we times it by 2. So 4 times by 2 is 8. So 3 times by 2 and that equals 6. So now we've got 6/8 and 6/8, which means they are equal. Okay, I hope that was right. Right then, so you're then going to use that to help you to order fractions. Now this time we have got 4 different fractions and they've all got different denominators. but we need to make them into the same denominator first of all. That's the step number 1. Now, 3, 6 and 4 are all factors of 12, so we turn all these fractions into twelfths. So I'm going to write underneath 12 for each fraction so that we can then convert them. That one hasn't changed, that's stayed the same. I'm going to put that as being 7 at the top. So how do we turn 3 into 12? Well, we times it by 4. Okay, 6 into 12 is times by 2, and 4 to 12 is times by 3. So what we do to the top, bottom we just do to the top. So 3 times 4, so 2 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, 6 times 2, so 5 times 2 is 10. 4 times 3, so 3 times 3 is 9. So these now are equivalent fractions to each other. 2/3 are the same as 8/12, 5/6 are the same as 10/12, and 3/4 is the same as 9/12. So now we've got the same denominator, we can actually order them. So we're starting with the smallest first. So the smallest fraction is 7/12, then on to 8/12, then to 9/12, and then finally to 10/12. And we have correctly ordered the fractions. So today for White Rose Maths Learning, if you are on silver, you're going to do questions number 1 to 3. If you are trying to get gold, 4 to 7. And if you're trying to do platinum, they're on the next page for you. So here are some platinum questions and the answers for you afterwards. Okay, so have a go at doing this if you're trying to achieve platinum. If you want any help or support, please do send us an email and we will try to get in touch with you.